to this situation?
I think, Dibal, you either want to be in government or you quit government. You know, everywhere in the world, there is no country that is as insensitive to its citizens like what I'm seeing from the Oda administration. Dibal, you know, when there is a rise in inflation, when the cost of living goes high, a government that cares must put in place measures to mitigate the suffering of its people. That's why in many countries you will get their social support programs. What happened during the regime of President Kenyatta is that to cushion Kenyans against the high cost of fuel, he put in place subsidies. And it's that subsidy that contributed in the stabilization of the price of fuel in the market. Now, what I'm seeing from the current UDA administration is that they have that arrogance and boldness of telling Kenyans, we really don't care. You know, literally you are telling Kenyans, even if you die from the high cost of living, we don't care. I don't think, Dibal, you can lead a government with that attitude unless you really want to be placed in the fate of many African presidents who have held the same attitude and they have served one term. You know what John Mahama did in Ghana? You know, the economy of Ghana was on a downward trend. Because of the shilling, the Ghanaian shilling weakening against the dollar, the exports, agricultural exports, were not able to attract good prices abroad. And there was a lot of disaffection from the citizens. So he lost in one term. He never got a chance to serve in the second term. And I think this is the momentum that I'm seeing. That you have people like Moses Kuria. Just picture a minister who is telling Kenyans that we as government, because he's speaking on behalf of government, we as government will do nothing. But if you want to go and dig your own wells, I mean, what kind of arrogance is that from a CS to a population that is almost getting desperate, a population that is getting it difficult to put food on the table, a population that has many youths, Dibal, that have not found employment. So I'm seeing a government that is totally clueless, that does not understand the people it's leading, that has a very careless and arrogant attitude. And I think the only thing I'm seeing is that they are creating a momentum to be sent home come 2027. What happens in other countries like US, when life gets as difficult as it's getting for Kenyans, the government will give money to its citizens. You will hear that Biden has given maybe $1,500 to every American so that you cushion them. The same thing in democracies like Australia. But here, if you ask the socio who represent the government here this morning, what measures have you put in place to cushion Kenyans? Instead, we'll tell you, in the next 2 months by Mashujaa Day, we wanted to tax Kenyans again. Because the NHIF bill, I think, is being processed, that will be more tax on Kenyans. I've read in the newspapers, unless he denies, that the government wants to increase VAT from 16% to 18%.
Yes.
I mean, how can you really be a government that does not connect with Kenyans like that? I've read that the tax relief that is enjoyed by Kenyans on the income bracket of 1,000 to 25 is being proposed to be removed. What we should actually be doing is to increase that so that you allow more Kenyans, maybe up to 40,000 earning, to be tax-free. That's how you cushion your people against factors that are external, like the increase of fuel outside the country in other countries that are producing oil. I can give you another example. You know what happened to Edgar Lungu in Zambia in 2021? Edgar Zambia had, this belief that he will maintain his traditional support base of northwest of Zambia. And the Ichilema used to control the northeast of the country. But because of the mismanagement of the economy, because of the arrogance of the the government of Edgar Lungu because of the corruption, because of, he had ministers that were almost having the kind of behaviors I'm seeing from Moses Kuria. They had total disconnect with the people. And by the time we were going to the elections, Dibahal, Ichilema, Akainda had a very easy run towards the presidency, and Edgar Lungu did one term. So what I'm seeing from the Uda administration, they have sent a message that their intention is to be in government for one term. Come 2027, all these suffering Kenyans will have no options other than to send them home. And do you know what's happening to the SMEs? The small businesses that employ about 8 Kenyans, 60%, and that's the data from Central Bank of Kenya. 60% of them are not able to service their debts. Just imagine. Now, let Sosion tell you the situation from the tea growing regions, what the bonus will be like for farmers. Let Gachagua tell us what is the situation like from Mount Kenya. Because the promise, you remember, every day we were told that Uhuru Kenyatta has mismanaged agriculture. We were told when Uda takes power, the income for farmers will go up. I can tell you the results that are going to be released, what I've seen on social media, is that the bonus for the farmer will reduce by close to 40%. That is factual. The coffee farmer, and the bulk of the coffee farmers are in Mount Kenya, the earning of the coffee farmers has reduced, I'm told, from 100 shillings to as low as 40 shillings. Now, what does the government want these people to do, these Kenyans? To just wait and see the government increasing fuel, diesel going up by almost 14 shillings?
All right, just give it a break. We'll of course get back into that and see also what stories also made headlines yesterday over the weekend.